Let's put it on.
Put what on?
The last suit you'll ever wear.
This is Men in Black, one of the most beloved sci-fi comedies of the 1990s. And this?
You are no longer part of the system. Check, please.
Well, the kindest thing to say is that it fell short of expectations. In fact, while Men in Black International marked a particularly low point in the franchise, none of the MIB sequels would quite match the greatness of that first movie. And it doesn't take an alien-level intelligence to understand why.
Hey, what's this thing? This thing caused the 1977 New York blackout.
When the original Men in Black came out in 1997, it was a success in every sense of the word. To put it simply, Men in Black was a perfect blend of the trends of the decade. Secret government agencies, aliens, buddy cop antics, and Will Smith. Smith had just become a certified star by the time of Men in Black's release day, coming off of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and into starring roles in Bad Boys and Independence Day. And MIB would only launch him further into the stratosphere. Smith's Agent J and Tommy Lee Jones's K became an instantly iconic duo and really elevated what could have been just another old man and rookie pairing in an action movie. But no discussion about the performances in Men in Black is complete without mentioning Vincent D'Onofrio as the Bug. Somehow managing to keep comedy and body horror in perfect balance, D'Onofrio really took the concept of the Edgar suit and ran with it on stiff, rotting legs.
Hey, your skin is hanging off your bones.
Is that leather?
The actors can't get all the credit, however. While the movie was based loosely off a comic book series by Sandy Carruthers and Lowell Cunningham, the characters and world of Men in Black were brought to life by director Barry Sonnenfeld and writer Ed Solomon. Between all the exciting sci-fi action and laughs, there's a sense of adventure and awe in Men in Black that takes viewers into the impossible underground world of aliens hiding in plain sight.
Everyone on those screens is an alien. In public, they're as normal as you are, but in private, well, you'll get the idea.
And at the end of it all, the movie is punctuated by a feel-good wrap-up and a promise for more with Agent L being inducted into the MIB. Even today, the original Men in Black stands up to scrutiny. The premise is still solid, its messages are still poignant, most of the jokes still land, and the effects have aged remarkably well. Add to that the frantic and oddly dark score by Danny Elfman, and it's no wonder the movie was so well received. It was so popular that the movie got its own animated series on Kids WB that ran from 1997 to 2001. The episodic adventures are still remembered fondly to this day as some of the only good supplementary Men in Black material. Because just when it looked like the MIB franchise held the world in its hands, they found themselves under threat. Not by an alien force, but by their own subpar sequels.
What the hell are you doing here, worm boy?
Excuse my partner, he's new and he's kinda stupid.
The second Men in Black movie came out in 2002 and is an indisputably unworthy follow-up to the first film. Barry Sonnenfeld came back to direct, but for unknown reasons, Ed Solomon did not return to write the script, and the movie suffered greatly for this loss. Men in Black 2 is a bizarre film in that it wanted to replicate the first movie down to the last detail. But at the same time, it actively undid as much of the established story as it possibly could. In order to recreate the magic of Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith's partnership, the ending of the original Men in Black was retconned.
Old and busted, new hotness.
Agent L went back to the morgue and the emotional backbone of the story was tossed away when they brought Agent K back from his happy retirement with his beloved wife. And even though they took great pains to get Tommy Lee Jones back, the dynamic between Agent J and Agent K falls pretty flat as K doesn't have all his memories for most of the movie. The story itself is fine. It simply doesn't capture that level of awe that the first movie did. Laura Flynn Boyle's shape-shifting villain, Serlina, could have been really interesting, but very little is actually done with her. But the biggest flaw in MIB 2 is the special effects. Hollywood was fairly obsessed with CGI and pushing the limits of the technology at the time. Most movies used it really well. Others are still mocked today. Men in Black 2 definitely falls in the latter end of the spectrum, which is doubly terrible when you consider that the movie's own predecessor looks markedly better.
You're back.
No,
How'd you know his head would grow back?
it grows back.
2012's Men in Black 3 was again directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. It introduced the concept of time travel into the MIB universe and gave the world something we never knew we needed. Josh Brolin giving a damn good Tommy Lee Jones impression.
That one was the truth. Wasn't the whole truth, but I guess it'll do for now.
It's so good that most of the time it really feels like Will Smith's character is interacting with a younger version of Tommy Lee Jones's. So even when Jones isn't literally on screen, that dynamic MIB2 tried and failed to replicate is on full display in MIB3. Once more, we have a heartfelt ending with an emotional twist that takes full advantage of those dramatic acting chops Will Smith has been honing in the years between MIB releases. Some of the effects send viewers straight into the uncanny valley. Really, MIB3 only thrives because of the talented cast, the relationships between their characters, and the adventure those characters take the viewer on. These are extremely important components that MIB2 clearly understood in concept, but fumbled in execution.
Kid?
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing me back.
No problem.
2019's MIB International is a soft reboot of the franchise, and production was troubled from the start. The script in the finished movie is nowhere near what it allegedly had been back when it was rumored to still be a crossover event between Men in Black and 21 Jump Street. Apparently, that version of MIB International would have dealt with the inherent xenophobia and propaganda in the series, but this was deemed too risky by the film's producer, who would eventually jump ship. But the problems didn't stop there. International's director reportedly almost walked off the project multiple times due to clashing visions and probably a not insignificant amount of stress, as the script was actively being rewritten while they were filming the movie. Given all this turmoil, it shouldn't be surprising that MIB International underperformed commercially, was universally panned by critics, and stomped out any remaining life the series might have had left in it. None of the leading creative minds behind the original movie returned, and the main cast is made up of mostly new characters. But that's not really the reason it's so terrible, or at least it's not the only reason. Bringing new agents to the forefront of the story shouldn't be a death knell, especially when those new agents are played by Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, two solid actors with proven on-screen chemistry.
What's with the...
It's my disguise.
I can see your face.
Not when I do this, you can't.
The movie was definitely intent on taking viewers on a journey, one entirely devoid of the charisma, fun, and awe that made us all fall in love with MIB in the first place. It's certainly true that simply switching the primary location from the United States to Europe is probably the most inspired choice a reboot about space aliens and secret government agencies could make, but those problems pale in comparison to the fact that Men in Black International has no relationship to its audience. A stunning absence of identity plagues the whole movie to a point where it's difficult to trace its origins back to the 1997 story.
Why don't you get a massage, take a cruise, and go straight. Drop the weapon and put your hands on your head.
I warned it.
You have any idea how much that stings?
Show us the merchandise, you're gonna lose another head, Jeeves.
Sure, the sunglasses, big guns, and the coolness are still there on a surface level, but imagery alone is not enough. The meaningful substance, thoughtful commentary, charming characters, and compelling world building that MIB was built on is totally MIA. The movie could have been great. Like the original film, MIB International could have been unique and timely. Luckily, we still have the original film to treasure, because 1997's Men in Black will always be out of this world. And that's all we have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Before you go, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with all of our latest releases.